What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends. We are on the main account. We had the new patch drop, which buffed a couple of champions in the game. There were only 3 changes to Rhodos, Blood Gorge, and my boy here, Lord Var-Gall. This guy's been a bit of a meme lord for a while. He's basically just been a Vault Guardian, has some use in Lizardman faction wars, which has really been a shame because I gotta be honest with you guys. This is one of my favorite looking champions in the game. I think he just looks awesome. He looks like one of the bad guys from the Kong Skull Island movie. Just a really cool design champion overall. And Lizardmen are one of my favorite factions. Obviously, I grew up with dinosaurs being one of my favorite things as a kid. I love Godzilla, so these guys kind of look like miniature kaiju. They're pretty cool. I just love this faction. It's a pretty cool faction. But he's always been one of my favorite looking champions. It's kind of been a shame that he's not been super useful in a lot of areas in the game. But I think with this new buff that he's got now, he's going to have a little bit of a resurgence. And actually, his kit is pretty solid against this current rotation of the Hydra, at least down in the like the normal and the hard levels. I think you can get some use out of his kit. Just in case you guys are unfamiliar with him, he's got quite a few abilities here. He is a legendary force defense champion, Lizardmen faction. He's got this Gleeful Ripping, which attacks one enemy 2 times, fills his turn meter every time he hits with this, and has a 30% chance to repeat the skill. So he can actually repeat this a couple of times in a row, get some pretty decent damage out. I've seen people use him in Arena. He is a defense-based champion too, which is pretty cool, so it's easy to build him to be pretty survivable. He's got this Strengthen buff on him for 2 turns. Can also put a Provoke out, which is pretty useful in faction wars. And Strengthen is a good buff also, like I said, for using in the Hydra. He's got this Abyssal Clutch, attacks all enemies with this decreased attack for 2 turns. This is why I was saying this rotation of the Hydra with that Head of Wrath in there being kind of that even affinity at force. He's got a chance to land this on that Hydra head at the very least. So that's kind of nice for when that Head of Wrath starts getting going. You can keep that attack down on him. He's got Horrific Foe. When attacked, decreases attackers' max HP by 5%, decreases the max HP of bosses by 2.5%, except the Scarab King, whose max HP will be decreased by 0.5%. Cannot decrease a single enemy's max HP by more than 50%, occurs once per attack. Can also put this True Fear out, and this is Ascended too. It gets a little bit better when you ascend it. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer out right now. I don't know if this is bugged against the Scarab King, but that's actually where we're going to go showcase him because it absolutely destroys the Scarab King right now, even in the hard Doom Tower. It's pretty hilarious how easily it takes down the Scarab King's that max health shield that it has, where you have to do max health damage before you can start really doing a lot of damage to the Scarab King. So we're going to go check that out here in just a second. It's kind of what I want to showcase here. And then we're going to look here at Skull Brood. If you do have Skullsworn, it will revive him with 50% HP and turn meter. If you have multiple Skullsworns, only one of them will be revived. So I've seen a couple of meme teams out there in Arena sometimes with this guy and 3 Skullsworns. At some point, I do want to build that meme team with this guy and a couple of Skullsworns just to take through campaign and some other areas, maybe some dungeons just to kind of goof around. I think I have... Yeah, I have one Skullsworn that I've started working on. You can see he kind of looks like a mini Skull-Lord too, so that's kind of where that comes from there. But he's a decent rare. If you get him early enough in the game, can really help you out. He's got some pretty interesting abilities here. He's got a little bit of counterattack, which can have some fun play in the arena when you first get him early in the game. So kind of a cool champion himself as a rare. He's also part of the Rosin Fusion. But we may have a little fun and build out a couple of him just to goof around. And pair him up with Skull-Lord here. So take a look at the stats in the build I have him in right here. Since we are using him in Scarab King, I do have him in a regen set and also in a resistance set. 2-piece there. Take a look at his total stats here. 55k HP, 3800 defense, 222 speed. Crit rate, we kind of got what we could there. Get it as close to 100%. I was trying to hit the speed and the accuracy and some other stats here, so didn't do an amazing job there with the crit rate. We did get his resistance here to 331, which is pretty good for early Doom Tower. At least he may struggle a little bit to resist some of the poisons higher up in the hard tower, but my gear is not quite super end-game level yet. This is the best we could really do for what I wanted to accomplish with him, and kind of show you his masteries here. I did go with War Master there, so he can do a little bit of extra damage since we're going to be using him primarily against the Scarab King and also when we go into the Hydra boss a little bit. So let's just go ahead and just jump right into what I want to do with him here, and that's kind of just go meme in the Doom Tower. I'm a little bit behind on my keys, so I've only got to floor 60 in normal right now. So this is really all we can do. You can see we've already tested this out. It's kind of fun. Let's just jump in here. Yeah, I know we don't have an aura. And we'll watch him go through Doom Tower normal here. What I'll do is I'll just go ahead and let him run through this. I'll speed it up so he gets to the Scarab King at the end. That way I don't have to talk through all this for like the next 2 minutes, but you guys can kind of watch and see him go to work here, and then we'll come back to it after he's reached the boss. Alright, so you guys can see here, this is coming to an end pretty quickly. We did a solo run here with Skull Lord. You can see just how fast he tore down the Scarab King's shield, and basically this guy might be the new meta on soloing the Scarab King. It's pretty easy there. Obviously this is floor 50 in the normal tower. I don't think he'll have any problem doing this on floor 90 in the normal tower either, even with the gear that I have him in. And we're going to go into the hard Doom Tower now also and check this out. Now, like I said, I'm a little bit behind on my Doom Tower and my keys this rotation. I just have not been keeping up with it. I've been doing a lot of Ice Golem farming, trying to get some resistance gear for Arena. But you can see here we've actually already gone in and done this already once. You can see there we got him with the solo run. This one's going to take a little bit longer. You can see here 7 minutes and 47 seconds, so I'm going to speed this one up as well. And again, we're using him solo. Which I wanted to make sure it was actually just him, because I'm seeing a lot of other people that they always do these like, oh, it's a solo run, but then they use 2 or 3 other champions for passives, or they have a aura champion in there and they're like, oh, well, they're going to die on like wave 1, so it's still a solo run. I'm a stickler a little bit. When I say something is going to be a solo run, I want it to be like a legit solo run, no help from anybody else, and that's, I also think, helps showcase just how awesome the champion is. And I think this guy, like I said, I don't know if my gear will be good enough to do this on floor 50 of hard and floor 90 of hard, but I think this guy can definitely solo the Scarab King in the hard tower, just like Rust Soul Cage or Vergis can. I think it's going to be a cool new use for him in the Doom Tower. But let's go ahead and we're going to jump in. Like I said, I'm going to speed this run up. We'll do the solo run on hard floor 30 since it's the only one I have available here, and let you guys check this out. Alright guys, we're getting down to the end of it here. Doom Tower hard floor 30. Scarab King boss pretty easily taken down by Lord Var-Gall. Just really fun. I like to see, this is the kind of content I really enjoy, is when you can do some fun stuff like this with certain champions. Like I said, this is a guy who's I haven't been using really at all, and it's nice that he may have a use now. Like I said, I'm pretty sure with the right gear, I'm pretty sure he can do this on floor 50 of hard. Probably floor 90 as well. Seems like he's going to be another champion that will be able to come in here and solo the Scarab King. So pretty awesome, a lot of fun. You saw how easily he took down the Scarab King's shield, allowed for that maximum damage to start coming through. And I think it's actually kind of neat, because now I'm wondering if you want to pair him up with some other people, he might get that shield down so quickly you're able to take the Scarab King out even faster. Because that's usually the tough part with the Scarab King, is he counterattacks you all the time. You got to have your shields up. You have to have so much going on with your team that it's really hard to get his shield whittled down quickly. But you saw there with Skull Lord, basically within a couple of hits that shield was gone. Now I know a couple of content creators have asked in the chat if this is a bug, if it should be affecting it this much. So I don't know if this is going to get changed. I hope it doesn't, because right now it's pretty cool that he's got a use and he's able to do this. But just to kind of give you an idea here, the team I've been using for Scarab King and Hard Doom Tower is right here. So I had to build out my Allure, my Lady Kimmy, my Stag Knight, my Metal Shaper, my Lysandra, all really fast, like 230 plus speed, 300 plus accuracy. You got the shield set on Metal Shaper. Had to hit all the different stats. The gear was really tough. I had to build out 5 full-on champions, spent tens of millions of silver on re-gears, fixing them all up just so I could get through hard floor 30, hard floor 50. I haven't tried it on 90 just yet. That's my team that should be able to do 90. They're speed tuned for it and everything. And all that work, I could have just done it with Skull Lord if he had this buff prior to this. So pretty awesome. I'm really excited he got the buff. I think it's great that he's got a little bit of a niche use now, that we can bring him out of the vault and have a little bit of fun with him. I'm going to try him out on Hydra a little bit later. I don't really have too much time to do that here. This was just really about showcasing him against the Scarab King now. So I think if you guys are struggling on Doom Tower, if you're having trouble with the Scarab King boss in any rotation, I think you can pull this guy out of your vault and put him in some regen gear, maybe some immortal gear if you don't have the good regen gear. Build him out the best you can and cut him loose against that Scarab King. Let him see what he can do. I wish I had some counterattack accessories. Actually, that would be kind of fun. I think I have a couple here, but they're not really all that great. They didn't fit in with him too well, so that would have made that go a little bit quicker when we were in that boss fight, but still pretty cool now that we can use Skull Lord. He's a great looking champion, one of my favorite looking champions in the game, and I'm now that happy that he does have a little bit of use now in some areas. So as always, guys, let me know if you have any questions about anything you saw in the video, and I'll do my best to get you an answer down below in the comments. As always, hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you again next time.